Hey, welcome to the Sunset Spiral Skydiving vlog number 2. So there's been a lot of updates since the last video. We are now at 228 jumps, which is one of the sea license requirements. And I am still working on my accuracy requirements. It took me a little bit to get it dialed in, but now I am very consistently landing exactly where I want to. And basically I just need to set aside the time to really focus on making sure that I go out, set up a target, and go land there, because sometimes when I'm doing other things I don't feel like doing it, and then I don't set up the target, or I'm landing at a different drop zone and I miss the opportunity because I don't feel like bothering people or setting up a target somewhere. So eventually we'll get there. It's just a matter of time at this point. I've definitely nailed it, and I'll show you some of these landings here. Now, 100% honesty, I am not proud of this landing, but I still hit the target. Woo! Just as a quick disclaimer to everybody who isn't quite sure why you need this tight accuracy requirements for the sea license, and it's really just because a lot of landing areas are tight, and some drop zones want you to be able to really hit your spot when you're coming in for landing. And so you can see here that the landing area, you have to fly over the parking lot and the packing area, and you have to fly right next to the runway. In this case, the plane was actually coming towards me, and there's a lot more people at the drop zone, so they really want you to make sure that you've got your accuracy nailed to land in the grass. Whereas if you're gonna land out in the distance, it's fine because there's a lot less stuff going on. So I'm still working on my camera flying for tandems. I've only had the opportunity to do a few more since the last video. However, I figured this would be a good opportunity to do just a quick walkthrough of what a tandem jump exactly entails, and just go step by step with what I'm trying to accomplish in the tandem jump. So here we are waiting out on the step of the airplane, and as you can see, we're getting a nice smile from the tandem instructor George and the pilot Jake. And at the very beginning, all we are doing is giving the tandem instructor time to get into position. Depending on the airplane, the tandem instructor will take longer or less time. In this case, we're falling out of a Cessna 182, and it's a little bit more difficult for the tandem instructor to finagle him strapped to the student out of that small door, so it takes a little bit. But on an Otter or on a King Air, it's a little bit easier because it's just an open door and you don't have to climb out and get your feet down on a different step. You just kind of have them dangle their legs and rock out. But now that we are in this position and the instructor is ready to jump, we get ready and he gives a little count. He goes out, in, out, and then we let go of the airplane. Now, in this case, you can see that we've made a mistake here. Our body is facing towards the tandem, and what you want to do is face your body towards the relative wind of the aircraft, so that way you can have a nice smooth exit. And sometimes this happens when you don't disassociate your head from your body. You really have to train yourself to look at what you want to film, but your body has to act independently from your head. So typically when you're skydiving, you'll look where you want to go. But in this case, I want to be looking at the tandem, but I want my body to be facing the relative wind so we can get a nice stable exit. And unfortunately, because I did that, I do a little flip and lose the tandem out of frame for a second, but it's okay, I recover quickly and then get back in the drop. So now that the tandem is off and in free fall, for a second or two after they jump out of the plane, they are going to be falling faster than I am because they have two bodies and it's just a lot more weight. And so I have to catch up to them, so that whole time I am in a dive position trying to keep my speed up so that way I can keep close to them. Once they deploy the drogue, it will slow them down immensely, and that will give me the opportunity that I need to catch up. But I have to make sure I don't blow right past them because I want to keep them in the shot. And once I'm able to get on their level, and get in front of them, that's where I start working closer to the tandems. That way I can get a nice shot of the tandem's face. And you can see here, I'm kind of working my body position a little bit. The tandems do move around a little bit, so it's not as easy as getting to a stationary target. But eventually I do get a nice face shot of the tandem here. And it could be a little bit better here. I wanted to be a little bit closer and maybe a little bit just a tad higher up, and that would have been a nice shot. And then what I want to incorporate after this is, once I get the nice tandem shot, I want to incorporate a 360 around the tandem, but I'm not quite there yet with the control of the wingsuit. Now, once I am done filming the tandem, I get a little bit away from the tandem so that way he has time to open up. And what I personally like to do is I like to get above the tandem and then wait for the tandem instructor to pull the parachute. And what that allows me to do, as soon as I see the tandem instructor pull the parachute, I spread my wings on the camera fly suit, and that will slow me down as much as possible. And it allows me to get this nice shot of the tandem opening the parachute fully all the way through. From here, after the tandem is fully deployed, now I'm done filming. All I need to do is make sure that I survive the skydive. So I wait a little bit and I deploy my parachute at 3,000 feet, and now I go land. So one of the major things that I've been working towards is getting to 200 jumps so that way I can do wingsuiting. It's been one of the things I really want to start doing. It just looks like an absolute blast. And after I hit my 200 jumps, I scheduled my course and I went and took my first flight course. It was an absolute blast. It was everything I thought I was going to be. I'm basically addicted now. I just have to keep wingsuiting as much as possible. In a future video, I will probably do a breakdown of what the first flight course entails, what exactly you need to learn before you get there, and kind of some body position techniques for wingsuiting. But for now, I'm just going to show you some highlights of the first flight course. So without further ado, cue the badass music.